Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. We rolling, man. We on the road to 100K. We got to do it. We got to get there. We got to get there. I appreciate everybody who like the videos, comment, share, subscribe. Especially everybody who leave me them comments and talk to me, man. Talk to me. Y'all know I talk back. I appreciate it. You know, even you funny ones, because you got some funny ones in there, but I most definitely appreciate it anyway. We rolling, man. We trying to get there. We trying to do what we can do. We trying to spread this positive energy, this positive message all over the world. That's what we trying to do. That's our goal. That's our motto. You know, we gonna get it. We gonna get it. So with that being said, let me see. We wanted to talk today. I wanted to talk today about something that was crazy to me. I remember this situation. It was just a wild situation. I remember I got a Celly. I was on Greensville. So I get a Celly one time. It's a white guy. He's a tall, lanky, big old bushy haired guy, you know, look kind of like a hippie. But he was like super skinny and, you know, nerdy. And he was more or less kind of like scary, you know. He'd never been locked up before. He was a smart guy. He was actually going to, I believe, the University of California. And his parents was paying for his tuition and everything and had him in school. Yeah, University of California, because ain't that where Jason Kidd went? Shout out to Jason Kidd, the basketball player, Hall of Famer, now NBA coach. But he was going to the same school. He said he even had a couple of classes with Jason Kidd, you know. So at that time, you know, Jason Kidd was big news. You know, he had not been in the NBA yet. He was big news. So, you know, he was bringing to school a whole lot of prestige, a whole lot of, you know, press and everything. So, you know, he was telling me about this, that, and the third about Jason Kidd and how he, you know, ended up down here in Virginia and ended up in prison, you know, which... come to find out, he only had a couple of years. You know, he was a white guy. He was a white collar guy. What happened was he was in school. His parents is paying the tuition or whatnot. And he was coming down here to University of Virginia messing with a couple of girls. He had a girlfriend down here that went to University of Virginia. So while they down here, he down here at University of Virginia fooling around with them while they on their break. You know, they partying, doing their thing, having fun, you know, do what, I guess, what college kids do. You know, I ain't never go to college, you know. But at the same time, they doing what they do, having fun. And he told me that they, excuse me. He told me, you know, every now and then they party, you know, they drink, you know, and they indulge in a little bit of, you know, cocaine. So... he said, you know, he kept it, you know, for his girlfriend and their friends and whatnot, and he always had some. And, you know, his mom and dad, I think they was well off, you know, they had good money or whatever. They was putting them through school. So he was like, he was down here, he was with them. They went out one night, they was partying so hard, they got so drunk and so messed up that they was on their way home, and they got pulled over by the cops. And when they get pulled over by the cops, you know, the cops... search him or whatever, and they find, you know, cocaine on him. So they lock him up, they give him a charge, you know, he go to court and all of this and all of that, and he get found guilty, and they give him like 2-3 years or something like that for possession. So he getting locked up. He getting locked up in Virginia. This is how he ended up becoming my Celly. Now, the crazy part about the story is that he rationalized in his mind that being that he only has like 3 years or whatnot, that he can do the time and get out and go back to his regular life and never, you know, his parents never being the wiser. They still paying his tuition, assuming he in school. He said when he in school, he barely see him anyway. He just call every now and then and blah, blah, blah. They send the money, they pay the tuition, and everything is cool. So he's thinking in his mind, he going to do this time, not tell his parents that he locked up, because they will have a baby, you know what I'm saying? They would snap out, you know, and I don't know whatever other repercussions he would have to suffer. But he was determined not to tell his parents. And no one knew that he was locked up besides his girlfriend down here. He went to the University of Virginia. They came out unscathed. You know, he took the blame for what he said was his or whatnot. So this is his plan. So I can remember, you know, when he getting in the cell with me in a couple of days and we get to talking, because he was nervous purpose, you know what I'm saying? Scared to death, you understand? So I can remember when he get to talking to me, he get to telling me this story, and I just found this story so fascinating. I'm like, man, you mean to tell me you think you can be in prison for a couple of years and your family not know you still gonna be faking like you at school, and they not gonna know, they not gonna be the wiser, they not gonna pop up on you, come visit, they not gonna do any of that? And he was like, nah, they never do. You know, I've been in school for like 2 years and they're not gonna come, man, I'm telling you, you know, so they're gonna keep paying my tuition, and, you know, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. And he was like, yeah, you know, I'm telling you, man, that they're gonna do it, Banky, they really are. And I can't tell them, man, they will lose their mind, man, I might get cut off. And I'm like, man, you know, where they do this at, you know? So this is what he's telling me, but at the same time, he's scared to death. And, you know, he said the only one knows his girl. He said his girl going to keep in touch with him. She's going to write him. You know, she may come visit him. You know, and like I say, he said, man, I never been in prison before, man. This is just so crazy, you know, just coming through receiving and all the things and being in the jail. And like, man, I've never been in trouble before. It's like, man, this is scary. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look. You cool, man. You alright, you know what I'm saying? You hit the lottery, man. You got put in the cell with somebody that's alright. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, gonna, you know, cause you any harm. You know, you in the cell with me, ain't nobody gonna bother you. You good, you alright, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a terrible experience. I can assure you of that. But, you know, like I say, you cool, man. I said, man, you could have landed in the cell with some crazy people, man. You know, because there are a lot of them. So, you know, you all right, man. You good. So he was like, man, I appreciate it, man, for real, you know. And we just get to talking and kicking it. And, you know, like I say, for the most part, man, he all right dude. You know, he from a different world than I'm from. So I'm taking heed to everything he got to say, and you know, getting to learn about, you know, how he live and how the, you know, the so-called, you know, well off kids do this in college, and the parents got all this money and this, that, and the third. So it's just crazy. He's just telling me about all the parties and, you know, the frat parties and the this, that, and the third, how they hang out is just like crazy to me. You know, I've been in prison now for a minute, so this is all news and fascinating to me. So, you know, and the people he met, you know, on campus and, you know, games and stuff he been through. He was telling me about how, you know, when Cal have a game, man, being the Jason Kidd was on the compound, and how many news people be there and press be there, and NBA stars and NBA coaches, and, you know, everybody be just trying to get a ticket to the game because Jason Kidd done brought all these people, you know what I'm saying, to the university. So, you know, he said he had been to a couple and da-da-da-da-da. So, man, it just was a wild thing, man, for me. I just remember that, man. And the cat ain't really have nothing because he didn't want to ask his parents for nothing. So only thing he had was some money every now and then that his girl would send him, you know. And that was, you know, few and far in between. So he was just like struggling. So, you know, he was trying to apply, can I get a job, man? You know, what kind of jobs do they have? And, you know, like boom, 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 he was applying for jobs, trying to get a house, man, or, you know, work in the kitchen or whatnot. And, but, you know, like for the most part, like I say, he was just super nervous and scared. He didn't want to leave the cell. Which normally when you have a celly like that, they don't want to leave the cell, man, that's a problem because they in your way, wah. But I understood the dynamics of what he was going through, his situation. He knew he's scared. You know, he was a white guy. He tall, lanky, scary looking, you know. And he acted kind of like, you know, his nerdiness in prison can be misconstrued as, you know, femininity because, you know, you got predators in there. So, you know, I used to try to tell him, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, when you go out to sell, man, just, you know, just be confident, just be, but he was scared. He ain't want to come out unless he had to come out. He didn't have a TV. And being that I was the barber and I worked all the time, I always was out to sell, basically during the daytime, or either going to work out or either going to work cutting hair. So he used to be asking, man, do you mind if I watch your TV, man? Is it a problem? And I was like, nah, man, go ahead and watch the TV. Man, this dude used to watch TV all day long. It got to the point, man, where he was just watching TV every time I came in there. He loved to watch TV at night. In prison, I used to go to sleep so early, man. If there ain't nothing special going on, nothing on TV that's, you know, super exciting or nothing like that, I'm usually out by about 9, 10 at the most. And he used to want to stay up. And one thing he used to do all the time, every night, man, this dude wanted to watch David Letterman, man. He wanted to watch David Letterman. He used to be trying to convince me and tell me, man, you don't like Dave, man? You don't know about David? I just knew the name David Letterman at the time. And he was just adamant about watching David Letterman, and he was adamant about watching Seinfeld. So I knew nothing about neither besides the name. But, man, I used to let him watch that TV, and he used to be trying to explain to me how funny it was, try to explain to me how brilliant they was, and they're a comedic genius and this, that, and the third. So by him being in there now for like, you know, couple of months, I started watching this stuff because I ain't had no choice because he watching it all the time, and I was just trying to, you know, look out for him. So I started watching this stuff, man, and that's how I started watching it. That's how I started watching. Messing with him is how I started watching David Letterman, Seinfeld, and Friends. And I must say, all three of them are very, very, very excellent shows, man. But I would not have watched them probably on my own had it not been for him. But I ended up watching them, man, messing with him, because he used to sit down there, man, and just be, hey, man, ain't that funny? You know, he was just into it, man. It was just a crazy situation, man. So, you know, but as time went on, you know what I'm saying, a couple of months in there, you know, dudes, you know, like I say, you know, we in prison, you know what I'm saying? So you got these dudes that already got their mind distorted and they already on some other stuff, man. And they used to be looking at him and they thought he had some money, or they thought he was gay, or they thought that they can make him gay and all of this and that. And I used to be like, man, and I could see it, but it wasn't no need for me to say nothing because, you know, it wasn't like right there. It wasn't nothing that nobody actually said to him until he ended up telling me that, you know, man, when you was cutting hair today, man, the dude was trying to talk to me. He kept coming to the door and he was trying to talk to me and stuff like that, man. And he's a pretty scary dude, man. And I was like, who you talking about? He was talking about the dude that was in the park, man. He was a big dude. He was cognizant, right? But he said he was just asking me, man, do I need anything? And blah, blah, blah. And that's that. And I was telling him I don't need anything. And he was trying to give me commissary and stuff like that. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. So when he tell me who it is, you know what I'm saying, I said, man, let me see what's going on. Especially because of the simple fact that he my Celly. You know, number one. Number two, you came to the sale, which is also my sale. So I go pull up on the dude, I ask him, what's up, man? I said, man, yeah, my Celly said you was down there hollering, blah, blah, blah. So, man, the dude in question, he's so bold and he ain't scared by a long shot. So, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, look, man, what's up with him, man? You know what I'm saying? What's up with him, man? You sell it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what you mean? What's up with him? He was like, man, he's some peoples or something. I'm like, no, man. No, man. He said, man, come on, Mike, man, for real, man. Dude, like a girl, man. You showed it. I said, man, dude ain't no broad, man. Dude is a nerd, man. Dude is in college, man. Dude is, you know, from a rich family, man. He done got locked up on some possession of drugs, and he trying to duck his family. He trying not to let him know he locked up. He ain't never been locked up before in his life, man. Ain't never been in trouble before. Man, that dude a girl, man. I'm telling you, man. He be looking at me, man. I'm like, dog, dog, no, man. Leave the dude alone, man. He ain't about that, man. He ain't trying to get with that. He not about that. That ain't him. All right, man. I'm just telling you, man. You know, you be working, man. You be outside working out, man. I'm telling you, man. Dude, man. I'm telling you, man. Dude got some ways, man. I know that stuff when I see it, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm like, dog, you wrong, man. Leave him alone, man. Just leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? So I go back. I tell him, man. He said, man, I seen you talking to old dude, man. You know, and I tell him what the situation was, what was going on. I'm telling him, like, you know, how they looking at him or whatnot. He was scared to death, man. He was like, what? He was like, no, man, no, I'm not gay, man. I'm not, man. I don't want to be gay, man. They're not going to try to do anything to me, are they? They're not going to, you know, try to rape me or anything. I'm like, no, man, no, you good, man. He said, man, you sure, man? Because I don't know what I would do, man. I ain't never been in a fight before in my life, man, you know. And, man, I'm like, this is a crazy situation, you know what I'm saying? Because he is super paranoid now. He's super scared. He like, man, I don't even want to go out and take a shower, man, you know? And I'm like, man, you good. Don't worry about it, man. He said, well, like, how do you know? I said, because you in the cell with me, man. They're not going to just run in here and do nothing to you, man. Ain't nobody going to do nothing to you. So then he started pointing out other dudes who had said something to him as well, but he didn't know. He thought they was just being friendly and speaking to him, but when he told me exactly how they said and how they spoke and what they said, then I'm like, boom, and I'm looking at these. I'm like, man, they plotting on old boy and everything. I'm like, if you won't in the cell with me, man, it ain't no telling what might happen to you. Yeah, it ain't no telling what might happen to you, man, because they was down on him, man. I don't know why they was looking at him like that. But in retrospect, looking back, I'm looking at it like the way he carried himself versus, you know, in penitentiary. To me, you know, I got common sense, you know what I'm saying? I would like to think I got common sense. I can look at dudes, I watch a lot of TV, I see dudes on this, like quirky or nerdy or whatever. But in penitentiary, dudes is thinking with a different type of mind, man, and they pressed, oppressed, depressed, suppressed, you know, so they trying to press somebody else, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I gotta watch these cats, you know what I'm saying? Especially when I go outside to work out or whatever. But I didn't feel like, a matter of fact, I knew won't none of them disrespectful enough to try to run up in my cell and try to do something to them when I won't in there, because yeah, it's gonna be hell to pay. It's gonna be big trouble, you know what I'm saying? Big trouble, you know. So that really wanted, but he didn't know that, so he was just like still scared and paranoid after I, you know, opened his eyes to what they was actually talking to him about, because that didn't even cross his mind, because they not thinking on that type of level. That didn't even cross his mind until I told him. But the only reason I told him because I felt like he needed to know, you know. So yeah, man. So you had these dudes, man. They plotting on them. They scheming on them. They looking at them. They trying to offer them. I told them, don't take nothing from nobody, man. Don't take nothing from nobody till you get your money right or whatever, man. You know, I got store boxing here, man. You can get this, you can get. Man, he was so happy. He's out telling me, man, you such a good dude, man. You cool, man. And I don't even see why they got you locked up. And you know, man, you made a mistake and da 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 da. And then they got you locked up for all this time. And how much time you got to do? And I tell him how much time I got, man. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, you know, that's what they do. And, you know, look at the little time you got for what you got, what you had. And I can show you some dudes that had the same thing you had. These dudes got 20 years. These dudes got 30 years. He was like, no way. I'm like, yeah, big way. Big way. You know, so it was a crazy situation. But I just thought, like I said, he was a cool dude. I really won't let nothing happen to him just because of the fact that he was my celly. And now that he had been in there for a while, I just understood his dynamics. I thought he was a good dude, man. You know what I'm saying? He just won't cut out for the penitentiary, which none of us are. But some of us are able to adapt better than others. He won't built for it. The man never been in a fight in his life. He didn't know what he might do if somebody came up to him and pulled that Bethlehem out and tried to do something to him. He didn't know what to do. He had not a clue. You know, he might have fainted. You know what I'm saying? Which would have been the worst thing to do in that situation. But yeah, it was a crazy dynamic, man. And he started telling me, man, when I get out, man, I'm gonna do this, man. I'm gonna look out for you, man. I'm gonna try to help you find a lawyer, and I am, Banky, man. I'm telling you, man, because you a good dude, man. You're a good friend, and blah blah blah. He's saying all this stuff, and I ain't gonna tell you no lie, you know, because I probably was then in Greensville at this time, second, maybe in penitentiary now. Probably over a decade. So, you know, I still had that, You know what I'm saying? Like, people gonna go home, they gonna do what they say they gonna do, and that, man, nah, you know what I'm saying? But because that's one thing when I got out, that's why I answer phone calls the way I answer phone calls now. That's why I try to help the dudes I try to help now. That's why I go on Zoom meetings and speak up for dudes trying to make parole. Because I never wanted to be what I felt like dudes was to me. Everybody, oh, I'm gonna go on, man, yeah, make it, man, I'm gonna look out for you, man, I'm gonna send you pictures, I'm gonna do this thing. Man, no. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do what I do, because I didn't want to be a hypocrite. Plus, like I say, if I say it, I mean it, and I'm gonna stand behind whatever I say. But yeah, but he used to tell me that, and I believed him. You know what I'm saying? I believed him. I believe he was so, you know what I'm saying, grateful that, you know, he had a friend like me, man, that won't gonna let, you know, just him get sucked into the penitentiary. Just, he ain't got but a couple of years. These dudes will ruin your life completely. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but as time went on, man, when a couple of more months went by, and I had already been applied. I had already applied for a single cell, right? Because in this block at the time, on the top tier, they had like 5, 6 single cells. And you had to be in line to get them, and you had to been applied, and however long, you know, you've been on the list. And when the one of them come open, and it was just chipping the list for all chipping. So it was coming to the time that I'm like at the top of the list. And man, just by chance, man, a couple of dudes got moved and transferred all at the same time. So like 3 cells came open, and yours truly got one of them, man. So boom, I can move in a single cell. I can be by myself, you know, get a little solitude, man, get a peace of mind, get you know, get in tune with yourself and what's going on, get a game plan together. Man, when the people called me and told me I had that single cell, man, I went and told him that I got to move out the cell because I got this single cell. I ain't gonna tell you a lie, man. This dude almost started crying, man. He basically was crying. He was like, man, what is that, man? What's gonna happen? Who they gonna put in here? And you know, and I'm like, bruh, I'm moving out. Single cell right upstairs. I'm still in the block. You know what I'm saying? Whoever they put in with you, man, I'm right here. I'm right upstairs. I'm in the block. Man, but you're not in the cell, man. And what if they doing stuff to me in the cell? And he was terrified. You know, I might just check in, man, and go to the hole. And I'm like, man, then you say you put a job in for the kitchen, man. You might get a job in the kitchen. You won't even be in here all the time. You know what I'm saying? You won't even be in the cell that much. Kitchen workers work a whole lot. And I don't know if I'm going to get a job. And I'm like, man, calm down, bro. I'm right here, man. If you got some problems or somebody coming at you with some crazy stuff, no matter who they put in here, man, just come let me know. And I come down here and I holler at them, man. You going to be all right, man. You ain't got that much time to go, man. You know, you chipping months off as we speak, you know. Man, this dude was terrified, man. He was like, man, would I be able to come up there sometime and, you know, and just watch TV or whatever? I still don't have a TV. I'm like, yeah, bro, when I'm out here working, cutting hair or something, you can go up there, man, if you want to. That's up to you. But you gonna be all right, man. You ain't got to check in. You ain't got to go to jail, dog. You gonna be okay, man. Man, I don't know, man. I don't see who they put in here. And he was just terrified, man. They ended up putting a dude in there, man. He was an old dude. He wasn't about that life. He wasn't about no drama, nothing. He just trying to do his time, man. But, you know, he was staying in there during the daytime. He daytime, he was terrified, man. When I'm out there working or something, man, he come out there, man. He come over there to the barber station. He was like, is it all right if I go up there, man, and watch a little TV? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, man, you can go ahead on up there, bro. And during this time, they really weren't fooling with you or nothing like that. Well, not the officers that we had on our block at the time. Because normally, you couldn't be in nobody else's cell if that ain't your cell, especially a single cell, because they know who's sleeping there. But they knew he was my old celly. They let him go up there, whatever. His celly was in there. He had a TV, the old dude, but he watched certain stuff. Like, a lot of old dudes in prison, all they watch is news and news stations and all that. And that's what he did. So he was like, man, I can't even watch Seinfeld or you know, so I was like, yeah, go ahead, man. You good, man. Because, like I say, man, he was a good dude. He was a funny dude, man. And I understood his situation, man. And I just was like, man, I didn't want nobody to just try to take advantage of him, man, or drag him or mess his life up because of the simple fact that I had got to know him. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like bullies anyway, man. I don't like people trying to advantage take people. But I understood that I'm in prison, that ain't my business. And I got to stay out of my business because I got to worry about my own life. And I ain't going to put my life on the line for somebody else. But every time you step into somebody's situation, every time you get in a situation in the penitentiary, your life is on the line. So, you know what I'm saying, I understood that to a degree, but at the time, I'm still young, I'm still, you know, like, what I don't like, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, like, say, dude was cool, man, and I was trying to look out for him, but, man, yeah, he ended up getting a job in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So he had the job, so that helped him a lot. He started going in the kitchen, but then he was nervous, pervous over there in the kitchen because dude's saying stuff to him over there in the kitchen, and I ain't over there in the kitchen. I can't, you know what I'm saying? And some of these dudes is coming from other buildings and whatnot. They just look at him as weak. Not all of them looked at him as predator, like they want to try to do something, you know, sexual or something like that to him. Other dudes looked at him like he was weak, and they wanted to, you know, dudes starving in the penitentiary. They want to extort him. They want to see if he got any money. And he used to be like, man, I don't have any money, man. My family have money, but they don't even know I'm in here, man. You know, dudes trying to, you know, lean on him that type of way, you know, because they'll come at you like that in prison. Well, you better get some money. You better tell your people send some money. You trying to get up out here. You know, dudes hitting him with all of that type of stuff. He's like, man, I might quit the kitchen, man. They over there, they harassing me and bullying me. I'm like, dog, you in prison. That's how it's coming at you. This is going to let you know you don't never want to get. He said, man, I'm never going to mess with cocaine again. And, man, I can't live like this. And he was just, you know, he was, he got the message. This ain't where you want to be. This ain't University of California. This ain't University of Virginia. This ain't where you just, you know, living a good life, bro. When you give up that freedom, this is what you're going to be faced with. You know, and that just don't go for nerdy white guys or rich white guys. It go for everybody. Everybody, man. When you up in there, man, you in a different world, man. And you going to have to live different. And you going to have to move different. And you going to have to respond different. And you going to have to act different. And that's just what it is. And make no mistake about it. It can go down at any moment. And yeah, ain't no telling what you may have to do. And ain't no telling what somebody going to be trying to do to you. So, you know, yeah, but I just remember that situation. I was just, I don't know, man. I had watched the episode of Friends, and it just, boom, popped up in my mind and everything. But, man, he was a good dude, you know what I'm saying? You know, his time was not as long as he thought it was going to be. He didn't factor in the good time when he got a job and was working, and he got good time, so he ended up getting out earlier than he thought he would. And, man, yeah, I was like, oh, he was like, man, Banky, man, I'm going to look out for you, man. He got my number. He got my state number, all that. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to get some girls to come see you and everything, man. We going to come visit you. I'm going to try to get you a lawyer. I'm going to talk to my parents. And none of that. I ain't heard from him to this day. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I ain't heard from him. You know, so if you out there and you see this video, you heard about me, and you see this video, you know who you are and you know who I am, man. That was bad on you, man, because I kept that pressure up off you, man. But I would have did it anyway because it was the right thing to do. But you should always keep your word, man. You should always keep your word. But, you know, I understand now, you know, that's prison, you know, and that's prison talk, and people say what they had to say at the time they have to say it. But, you know, I would have did the same thing in the same situation just because of the fact that he was my Celly, man, and I don't rock with that type of stuff anyway. Don't knock nobody for what they doing as long as it don't affect me. He was in the cell with me, it would have affected me, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, but shout out to him, man. I hope y'all there doing good. I hope you got that University of California degree, you know, and out there living that good life, man. So, you know, if your son ever get locked up for doing something wrong and he try to hide it from you, you better not hold it against him because that's what you did. But yeah, that was a story that I just wanted to drop on y'all because it came to my mind. I just thought it was a crazy story. I thought it was something unique. It was you know, it was one of those moments, man, that you have in penitentiary. But, you know, like I say, you meet all kinds in penitentiary. You go through all types of situations. You see all types of scenarios. It's just so many things that's going to go on within that small environment, man, that, you know, you never know what might happen. But that happened, you know. My Celly from University of California, they had that pressure on them, man. I tried to relieve the pressure, but they had that pressure on them, man. Pressing your Celly, man. When people pressing your Celly, you got to stand up because whatever is a reflection on him is a reflection on you and vice versa. So if your Celly ain't man enough to hold the weight, man, you're going to have to hold the weight for both of y'all. So that's what it was. That's what happened. Ain't nobody do nothing to him, you know. So, yeek, yeek, yeek. But anyway, y'all, let me know if y'all rock with this story, man. Holler at me in the comments. Yeah, like, share, subscribe. Share this content. Give it to somebody who you might think might need it. You know, we just trying to help these people out here understand what goes on in the penitentiary, what you're going to be facing if you give up this freedom out here in this free world. You know, it ain't worth it. Nothing is worth it. So stay free, stay focused, y'all. Be safe out there, be smart, make good decisions. Share these videos, talk to somebody, man. Talk to your kids, talk to your nephews, talk to the kids in your community. Let them know what prison is really like. Let them know what they're going to be going up against, man. A mean machine. And everybody who's watching this video, man, hit me in the comments and let me know what you think. And if you're watching these videos and you not subscribed, shame on you. And I'm putting out a challenge, man. If you find somebody or know somebody that's watching this good content, distilling this good information, and they ain't hitting that subscribe button, y'all let me know, because I'm challenging all of them to 3 rounds in the ring with Banky Pound. And they gonna have to duck them hooks. Y'all duck them hooks out there. Don't let me catch you stealing this good merchandise. Peace.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.